Hey Gemini, welcome to July 2022. We are going to do a reading for the month for you, and it's going to be rough. And by rough, I mean there's all kinds of details that I was really hoping to have in place before doing this reading, and I am deciding to move forward without perfection. So pardon the rough edges, but we're doing it. And that seems to sort of be the theme for July 2020, one of. We'll see what pops up for you guys over the course of this month. And hopefully this kind of overview helps you manage the energy, helps you have an awesome July. Okay, we're going to use the Shamanic Tarot deck. It's called the Knowing. It's actually not a tarot deck. It's a oracle deck. It's so powerful. It's so gorgeous. This is the Weaver Tarot, and this is going to be, we'll clarify with my little baby deck, which is so fab. The Daily Tarot by Betty Tarot. I really recommend this deck, especially for clarifying. It's just like so clean, so like concise. Anyway, I love all these decks. Let's see what we're getting into. We'll pull an energy for the overall, we'll pull a card for the overall energy of the month. Gemini's July 2022. What do you got? Gemini's July 2022. Gemini's 2022. I'm like falling all over my words. I forgot my light this morning, so if you watched Aries or Taurus, just know I apologize. It's just like moving forward. I'm not letting anything stop me from moving forward, and I hope you don't either. It's definitely a theme for July 2020, and I'm super glad you're here. And I'm grateful to be doing this for you. So there we go. July 2022. We keep getting so many of these. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have a confession. I started this for you guys and ended up having to restart. This card popped out before, so this is really powerful. This is amazing. I mean, the tarot is so cool. In that it's not random, and the messages that come forward are really meant for someone in this case. So the Chickadee and Ginkgo here, number 23. And as I read this card before, I'll read it again. It tends to be all about you, Gemini, in like really encouraging you to be excited and curious. And I'll read the card because it'll describe more exactly what it means. But that it just read to me exactly like how I would describe a Gemini. So to me, that says maybe you're not feeling this way this month, or maybe you haven't been feeling like yourself and you're going to be coming home to your essence, to your energy, to what makes you feel like you. So engage your mind, be curious and open in your responses into experiences in life. Our educational systems don't often serve to enhance or even maintain the natural curiosity and childlike wonder we're born into in this world. And often as adults, we have forgotten the awe that defined and continues to define our true nature. Our minds tend to get stuck and rigid where they were once fluid and flexible. Chickadee is a reminder to reclaim this energy and perspective, the energy of creativity, wonderment, new perspectives. For her energy is vivid and bright, always curious and attentive to the situation at hand. Being curious and open to change takes a lot of work when we have been trained out of it. However, the energy of Ginkgo helps assist this journey. A powerful, tenacious, and deeply wise being, Ginkgo teaches our brain how to create and maintain new neurological structures, as well as anchoring us in our true selves so that we might consciously explore those beliefs and perspectives that we've been carrying that might not actually be true for us after all. So, gorgeous message, Gemini, in releasing the old and coming back to yourself, coming back to your kind, curious, naturally talkative, naturally engaged, natural childlike wonder self. You embody that in terms of the zodiac, Gemini. So I'm excited to see what else this month has in store for you. Let's go ahead and see how that relates to the rest of the month. We'll go ahead and do a Celtic cross with the Weaver Tarot. What is coming up for cute Gemini? July 2022. Sovereign of Swords, crowned by death. 8 of Wands, 7 of Swords, Conqueror of Cups, 6 of Coins, Conqueror of Swords, 6 of Swords. Wow, super swords heavy. The Chariot in reverse, and the Fool in reverse. Have I said how much I love this deck already? Look at how beautiful these cards are. All right, chickadees, pun intended. Let's check out your spread here. Okay, so your central energy for the month of July 2022 is the Sovereign of Swords. So in this deck, that's the Queen of Swords. So heart and mind. Look at those roses right next to the sword on the crown. Meaning, where does your heart bloom when you are fully aligned in your truth? How do you communicate your truth when you are fully aligned? How do you communicate your truth when you are fully aligned with a blooming heart? How many more combinations could we make? But that truly is what the Queen of Swords is all about. The Queen of Swords gets us a bad rap. It is usually can sometimes be portrayed as like a woman who doesn't have much heart to her, or who is cold, right? Like the Ice Queen. The truth about the Sovereign of Swords is there is so much clarity here. There's a lot of clarity, and coming from a feminine perspective, how do we have clarity with an open heart? How do we combine our minds and our hearts together? So that's going to be the theme of you coming back to yourself this month, Gemini, is you are master of the mind. You are master of thoughts. You are master of thinking. You're master of beliefs and like creativity and like, you know, being curious about things. How can you come back to an open heart with your energy this July, and be in mastery of your world from a place of linked head and heart? And it might take some serious transformation. We have the Death card right on top of that. So this could look like relationships ending. This could look like projects ending. This could look like just a lot of grief or sadness. This could be an internal process, or it could be an external process. But when we see death, it is one chapter ending in order to begin another. You are shedding skin. And look at the rose again on the Death card. Shedding skin in service to the bloom of something new. The rise of something new. So July 2022, powerful month. Where is your clarity coming in? Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers for these just so we can help decipher the message. Let's get a clarifier for the Sovereign of Swords. What would help clarify the Sovereign of Swords for Gemini, the Hanged Man, sideways? Okay, this is telling. Really beautiful. So in this theme of coming back to who you are, coming back to your natural energy, coming back to your natural essence, the Hanged Man is when we're kind of in the middle of all of this party right here, right? Like being in our heart and mind space, speaking our truth, being totally clear in who we are and in the world, and like just death right over us. Like what needs to go so that can like fully come forward? And oftentimes we have to take a time out. The Hangman talks about a time out in order to change our perspective, in order to look at something from a new way. You know, sometimes when we're stuck, we just have to like do something else for a while, or go take a nap, or go eat a snack. So it didn't even come out upside down or like right side up. I feel like on its side, it's like everything is like kind of in transition. That's what it's feeling like. It's like, this is your key. You might have really been trying to look at something from a different perspective recently, Gemini, or you're kind of coming back to yourself, or you're kind of coming back on track to a project or a focus. And it's going to take some time. It looks like you've already been working on, we're going to leave this like this because that's really potent. It looks like you've been working on kind of shifting around. It reminds me of like the baby in the birth canal, where it's like tiny shift here, waiting for the perfect moment to be born. and in concert with the mom, right? So like what's waiting to be born here in concert with spirit, in concert with the alignment of your life, and letting this process of death really help you out. What do we need to know about this death card here that would be helpful for Gemini for the month of July? This is really potent. How can we clarify the death card here? For Gemini, July 2022. Woo! Okay, right. So being with this process as much as you can from a place of appreciation and gratitude, even and especially if you are in the fucking muck of it, right? So it might be a lot of disappointment. You might be coming out of a time where you haven't gotten your way, or things haven't gone your way, or you're not feeling like yourself, or whatever it is. And what's going to be most helpful is recognizing that even though there are 3 cups that have spilled here, even though you've been looking at disappointments, and even though you've been facing a lot of things that haven't gone your way, you still have resources left. You still have friends who are behind you. You still have your family. You still have your health. You still have clean air today. Whatever it is, small or large, that you can focus on that you do still have, it doesn't mean that you have to like say, hey, I'm just never going to feel sadness again or right now. We can't force ourselves out of an emotional state that we're in, but the 5 of Cups really asks us to come out of the disappointment and to face what is here to support us in the direction that we want to go in. And if you can do that, look at the gorgeous movement on the board that comes next. So 7 of Swords, 8 of Wands. So what are you resting on this month? These are the key energies. The foundation for you guys that you are building off of is the 7 of Swords. This deck is so cool. Have I told you how much I like this deck? Look at those claws holding up the moon. Usually this deck is pretty soft, it's pretty feminine, and every once in a while there's just like a broken tooth or these really powerful images that are especially noteworthy. And I feel like the claws in this one, I actually haven't seen these claws before. They're at the top, right, holding the moon, are one of these moments right now, Gemini. So 7 of Swords talks about, where are we being deceived? Are we deceiving ourselves? Or is someone else deceiving us? There's something about our situation, our lives, our home, our work, our relationships that isn't completely truthful and that might be harming or hurting us. And so it looks to me like you are being asked to address that. You are building from a place of understanding what that deceit is. Are you self-sabotaging? Are you not really living your life in true concert with the way that you want to? You know, it sounds like we're in this energy of coming back to yourself this month. Okay, cards have a lot to say about this guy. Let's go ahead and clarify the 7 of Swords. What are you resting on? What are you building off of? 7 of Swords. Let's clarify that for Gemini. Yep. Okay. So 9 of Swords, this could really be something internal, like something you're facing down yourself. But this tells me that you are coming out of your fears. It's time to stop being afraid, Gemini. So whether you are facing down your own self-sabotage, whether you are facing down someone who done you wrong, you know, whatever this is that you're facing down, you are standing on a mountain of shit right now. How do I want to say that? You are coming out of what isn't serving you. You are coming out of deceit. You're coming out of lies. And that can be large scale or small scale, right? So it's not to say that everyone is fucking you over, but it's like when we lie to ourselves, when we say, no, the job is totally fine. I really, really hate it, but it's paying the bills. Or, you know, we're lying to ourselves. You know, I'd rather just hang out with this person. It's easier. I don't want to make a fuss, but really like you don't like their company. When we lie to ourselves, something small like that, we're letting our fear of conflict, of confrontation, supersede our need, our tending to ourselves, our love for ourselves, and therefore living our best life, coming back into who we really truly are. So this is standing on a foundation this month. July is going to be about facing your fears and standing up for yourself, Gemini. That's what this is. Facing your fears and standing up for yourself in whatever realm of life that means to you in July. and it's going to get you places. Because look, right at the top, we have 8 of Wands. If you do that, if you're really in alignment, we have, the Sovereign of Swords being in alignment, head and heart together, you're coming into some really big movement. 8 of Wands is fast on the aligned action front, which is really interesting. The Chariot card you have here, it's like you're a little afraid of that this month. The Chariot card in reverse over here, we'll get to it, but these two relate a lot to me together. Aligned action. Look at this third eye here and all of these wands just radiating out. When we are aligned, when we're ready, when we come back into who we are, when we know who and why and how we want to do something, it tends to happen quickly, right? We can just step into something and it goes, touch something and it goes when it's the right time. Oh, I hope I'm being articulate. It's like I have all these messages that I'm thinking of and seeing, and I'm just having a really hard time articulating today. So I apologize for that. But let's see if we can get a clarifier for the 8 of Wands. I'm just seeing that as you start to come back into your own essence, which naturally for you, Gemini, is clarity. Let's do this again. Which naturally for you, Gemini, is clarity. Which naturally for you is discerning, really discerning thoughts and like childlike wonder and like hanging out with friends, and you're kind of the life of the party and a lot of interesting ideas. When you come back into that, you're really excited to see movement here in July. That's people coming in, projects taking off, like things you're excited about moving. 8 of Wands is really, really beautiful, fun movement. King of Wands here in reverse. So this could really look like, wait, let me just sit with this for a second. With the Sovereign of Swords, interesting. So this could look like really getting out of your own way. When the 8 of Wands is all about spontaneous movement when we're in alignment. The King of Wands is like, don't overthink it. Don't over-passion it. Calm down. Like, you don't have to micromanage. You don't have to be in every single aspect of whatever this is in July. Just go with the flow. Be in alignment. It's really what keeps coming back to me over and over again. Coming back to yourself and being in alignment is going to let you move forward in a really, really beautiful way in July. Okay, what are you coming from? The Conqueror of Cups. In this deck, the Conqueror is a knight. So, look at how beautiful that color is. It's like such a heart opener. So the Knight of Cups, some kind of love offer this could be, or just like an opening of the heart. Knight of Cups, Conqueror of Cups isn't the most stable of characters. This could be a period in your life where you were feeling incredibly romantic. Maybe you took some like really big leaps, or made yourself really vulnerable. And, oh, interesting. Okay. And then you're moving into the 6 of Cups. So you're coming from a time of being really open. Look at all those roses. Okay. So this is really fascinating. So with this being where you're coming from, it's like maybe there was a big opening that you are stepping out of. There was like some kind of relationship that started, or some kind of like opportunity or situation you're really excited about. And maybe you've made some grand gestures. Maybe someone reached out and made some grand gestures to you. There's just like all this flowering, all of this flying of your emotion. And sometimes the Conqueror of Cups isn't the most grounded. And so I love seeing the Conqueror of Cups straight into the Sovereign of Swords here as your energy, right into the 6 of Coins reversed. Because again, the Sovereign of Cups, it brings in that clarifying with the opening of the heart, right? The mind and the heart together. So oftentimes the remedy for the Conqueror of Cups, the way to work with the Conqueror of Cups is to bring in stability. How can we ground our romanticism so that we see real results? Let's see if there's any kind of clarifier there that would be helpful. So coming from a place of like real openness. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's really beautiful. There might have been a time that you were really remedying a argument here. So you're coming out of conflict. Maybe there was a reunion, something got back together, there was some kind of a repair that was happening. It could even be within your own self, Gemini, but potentially a relationship in your life really coming back together. Some kind of deep repair was happening here. Some kind of opening was happening. And it looks like there's a lot of rebalancing happening here in July. And moving into the Six of Coins in reverse, this is really a card of reciprocity. So upright or reversed, it's kind of the same message. Are you receiving? Have you been giving a lot? So this is the energy that you're walking into July, or moving into in July, the month of July. Have you been receiving a lot? Have you been receiving a lot of help from someone else? Did someone else come in and give you did you receive a big windfall? With the suit of coins, this is usually financial or usually tangible, usually physical. Was there some need that someone's been filling for you recently, or a leg up that you've had? Or conversely, are you going to be giving that to someone else? So are you giving back? Are you going to be mentoring someone else? Are you going to be assisting someone else? And oftentimes I love that because, with this death process and sort of like coming back into who you are, sometimes focusing less on our own problems if we're going through a lot, and seeing a friend who's in need or helping someone else who's going through a lot can be really stabilizing and kind of give us a purpose, take our minds off of like what's going on in our own lives. So I don't know what that is for you, but Six of Coins in reverse is kind of like receiving or giving and balancing of the scales in that way. Let's see what this clarifier is all about. 10 of Swords. Oh, Gemini, what is going on here? This is like a fascinating reading. It's just really incorporating a lot of things that are sort of all over the place. This is really balancing for you. You are coming into a time when you were just freaking slayed, man. A lot of conflict happened. You felt totally laid out. You felt just betrayed in a certain way. And what I love about this is like, there's not a lot about this that it is talking about retaliation. I'm seeing this as like this beautiful journey of you coming back to yourself from some really interesting challenges and recalibrating. There's a whole recalibration that's going to happen for you in July from a lot of personal challenges, from a lot of that are maybe coming from a place that wasn't very clear, but you are moving into extreme clarity here. The scales are righting for you, and you're coming out of a place of feeling real messed up about it. And this is going to be righted, right? So you're gonna receive help here, even if the help that you're receiving is going to be you giving help, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, how are you feeling about all of this? What is your take on this so far? We have the Conqueror of Swords. So again, another knight. And there's a lot of like characters here, right? So we've got 2 knights. We've got the Sovereign of Swords. We've got the King of Wands. I just feel like there's a lot of people that are involved here. So when we see this in this position, it's like you're excited, Gemini. This is you coming back to yourself. This is you understanding that you have a lot to say. You have a lot that you want to clear away. You have a lot that you want to cut out. You have a lot that you want to cut out to clear the path to your success and new movement. The one thing with the Conqueror of Swords, with all knights really, is again, we talked about like the instability with knights. So instability, or the Conqueror of Cups, that instability can be emotional. Are we like overly promising, or are we too mushy, right? The Conqueror of Swords, it's like sometimes can come in too vicious, I'll say. One end of the spectrum is that they can cut too deeply. So you really want to be careful of that, making sure that your words this month are clear and coming from a place of clarity, but also from your heart. So swords can cut through the bullshit, but they can also cut other people, Gemini, right? So that's why I immediately pointed to those roses in the Sovereign of Swords. It's like that balancing. That's why I love the Queen of Swords, the Sovereign of Swords, because she's that beautiful balance of head and heart together. And this is where your power is going to be this month. So it can be tempting when we are coming out into clarity and out of conflict of being like, oh my God, this is what I want to say actually. And like, this is actually what I'm seeing going on. And I need to tell you this and this. But as you come back into yourself, as you're going to feel more and more yourself this month, Gemini. I get the sense you're just going to like be coming out of some bullshit and into some serious new energy and some serious new clarity. And look, Six of Swords, you're moving on from whatever this is, total victory. You're scared about the movement, but it's going to happen. You're scared it's not going to happen. It's going to happen in a really fast way, Eight of Wands. So don't even worry about the timing of it. And it's going to lead to interesting and new adventures for you. But let's get a clarifier for the Conqueror of Swords. How can Gemini support themselves here with this card? Okay, the Magician. Okay, so oftentimes with the Conqueror of Swords, we're not totally mature yet in our understanding of how exactly to communicate well, right? And the Magician in reverse is saying, do not act or manifest this next chapter based on your immediate reaction to things. Check yourself before you react. That's what this is saying. Be very careful. Be very careful this month, Gemini, because it could be very easy to swoop in and say, I'm going to cut out all this fucking bullshit. Be the person to link your head and your heart this month. It's going to be so, so, so important for you. Temper yourself. In this position in the environment, we have Six of Swords. So there's going to be a lot of situations where it's going to be easy to move on, right? People might let you go. You might let other people go. Whatever this is, you're moving on from a difficult situation. Look at that gorgeous like jawbone. And again, the roses. So I'm loving how there aren't roses in all of these cards. This deck isn't just like rife with roses. They're really present on these swords cards. And again, it's just this reminder. Roses can be one metaphor for the heart. It's just one reminder to be really conscious of how you're using your words and how in alignment they are with your heart. And so this is going to be full of good opportunity to move on. Let's pull a little clarifier for that too. What do we need to know in the environment for July for Gemini this month? What does Gemini need to know about moving on in the environment? I'm getting that there's going to be opportunities here. It's just going to be kind of, yeah, totally. It's going to be easy. It's going to be streamlined. Oh, wow. Okay. So your Ten of Pentacles in the Tower, moving on here is going to simultaneously break a lot of things down that weren't working. But again, hello, that's been one of the themes of the reading. And it's also going to be in service of or in direct correlation to massive abundance. This is generational wealth. So, yeah, be on the lookout for some good stuff heading your way and be ready to take opportunities that might pop up for you. What are you hoping and fearing this month? Well, the Chariot, again, is aligned action. And when the Chariot comes around, things happen really, really quickly. So sometimes we're afraid to move on, even if we know it's the right thing for us, right? And already things are going to be moving for you this month. Ideas, creative projects, next ventures, whatever it is, you are going to have some serious movement and opportunity. So you might be reticent for that. You might be like, I don't know if I am ready for it so quickly and so fast, or for things to change. So really sit with yourself, Gemini, as you're feeling more and more yourself. It's okay to move quickly. Like when we're in alignment with what really works for us, the speed works, right? It's only when we're not in alignment. It's only when we aren't clear on like what we want or what we don't want, or when we're in confusion, that the pace feels really scary. So just know what you want this month, Gemini, and I encourage at least a part of that to be the values of head and heart working together. And then how is this all going to end up for you? We have the Fool in reverse. So let's go ahead and pull a clarifier before we talk about that. Oh my God. We got the Chariot. I just love, like, you can't make it up. Like, you just can't make it up. There's 72 cards in each one of these decks, and it's like the the probability of pulling this again is, low. So anyway, and that these cards would like come up together. So let me just sit with this for a second. The Fool and the Chariot, the Fool in reverse. It can be massive new projects. This could also be talking about like an internal process, right? So the Fool is us setting out on new journeys, on like a totally new chapter. The Chariot is gorgeous, aligned action. It's so beautiful. It's also the card of Cancer, and we are in Cancer season right now. So it just seems like boom, 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 Gemini, you are like in the right time, at the right place. Like all of this is like meant to be. And the end of the month is really going to show you new opportunities. It is. Even when the Fool is in reverse, that can mean new opportunities internally. You are coming into a lot of clarity. And with the Death card, there can either be some more shedding that needs to be done at the end of the month before you kind of actually finalize this and like move into something new. Or it can really be like an internal new chapter for you, a new way that you're thinking about things, a new way that you're considering life, a new way that you're considering a relationship. This is a really exciting month for you guys. And there's a lot here. And it's not clear that it's like gorgeous, moving into massive abundance. And it's not like a clear reading. It's like there's so much going on here. I feel like we caught you in one chapter of like an adventure story where, someone got really fucked up and you're having to like face a lot of fears and you're fighting your demons, and there's like so much optimism and hope and like brightness that's coming for you and movement, and you are like totally in a place of power, and you just proposed to the maiden at the top of the hill and like had to fight the dragon and like tame her dad before you moved on or whatever. I mean, I'm like totally going heteronormative Disney narrative here, but like it's just reminding me of sort of an adventure hero's journey here that we're catching you in, and we're like mid-chapter, mid-book. So I'm so excited to hear how it goes for you guys through July. I hope it goes really, really well. Just remember to link head and heart this month. Calm your reaction time. Enjoy the clarity. Enjoy the clarity that's coming, Gemini, because there's a lot of it coming for you. You are moving towards massive abundance, massive happiness, even if it's through the gates of death, even if it's through the gates of massive transformation. So enjoy. You completely deserve all of the fruits of your labor, and can't wait to hear all about it.